What's up, YouTube? So obviously I'm back from the run that I did earlier. That's what that footage was me getting ready for a run. But I wanted to answer some questions and kind of talk about a subject that a lot of you guys asked about when I was on vacation last week, which was how do you handle dieting when you're on vacation? Like if you happen to be someone who is on a diet or tracking macros when you're going on vacation, what do you do? Do you track your macros? Do you not track your macros? So I just wanted to touch on that subject really quick. You guys know that I'm an online personal trainer, so I have a ton of clients who work with me, most of which are clients trying to lose weight. And obviously in the summertime, you guys are all going on lots of vacations and just doing stuff like that that makes it harder to diet, and especially makes it hard to like track your macros or track your calories. So when a client comes to me and says that they're going on vacation for like a weekend or a week or whatever, I always kind of give them 2 or 3 different options. I always discourage my clients from being in a caloric deficit while on vacation. I think that vacations are meant to be enjoyed. I think it causes more harm than good to try and stick to your macros perfectly when like everyone around you is eating fun foods, you're going out to eat. So when my clients go on vacation, my first thought to them is please do not diet this week and don't feel like you need to track your macros. However, some of my clients want some kind of accountability because they don't like the idea of going on vacation for a week and not tracking at all and just like eating whatever they want, because obviously if you do overeat a considerable amount, you can gain some weight back. So my method of kind of like going in the middle of either extremes of tracking or not tracking at all and just going crazy with food is to raise your dieting calories up to maintenance calories. So if you're dieting on 1600 calories or whatever, your maintenance might be closer to like 2000, 2200. And so I'll tell my clients, okay, instead of dieting at your dieting macros this week, just go up to maintenance. That way you're not losing weight, but you're also not going to really be gaining weight because you're eating at maintenance level. And obviously that leaves a lot more room for eating vacation food because now you're eating kind of like a significant amount of calories and you have a lot more freedom to kind of eat whatever. And I tell them to not track macros. I say don't worry about macros, just loosely kind of keep an eye on your calories, try to hit around maintenance-ish. And generally I find that my clients who do that, who stick to roughly their maintenance calories every day of their vacation, they come back either having lost a pound even, the same, or they come back maybe 1 or 2 pounds up and it's just water weight and it goes away after like 1 or 2 days of being back on track. I do have a lot of clients who want to track on their vacation, and if they really, really want to, you know, I'm not gonna say anything, but I will say some of my clients are like, Lynette, I'll be real with you, I don't want to track anything, I don't want to track calories, I don't want to think about whatever, I just want to eat and I don't want to worry about it. And to that I say, go for it, have fun. And so what I did on my vacation was kind of a mix between eating maintenance calories and just kind of eating whatever. I've built up a lot of discipline in my daily diet, and also I don't really crave like really nasty foods. Like I know I joke a lot about how I love nachos, and I freaking do, but in general I don't want fast food and a lot of deep fried stuff or like burgers and stuff like that. I don't typically want that in my diet just because it makes me feel so sick, and I just like to keep my stomach happy. So when I go out to eat on vacation, I try to keep things pretty fresh, kind of clean and unprocessed, minimal ingredients. So if you follow me on Instagram, I was posting a lot of my meals on my Instagram story from when I went on vacation, and a lot of it was just like tacos made with like fresh local ingredients, fried avocado, shrimp. I think one day I had a veggie burger. So I tried to just stick to healthier food items that I know my digestive system would be happy with and also wouldn't like send me over the deep end in calories. While I didn't count calories while I was on vacation, I tried to make every meal like a good choice. I always started my day with avocado toast like I have at home. I didn't really snack on anything during the day. If I did get hungry, I had an apple, and then I would have kind of like a late lunch, early dinner, and that would be, you know, my avocado tacos or my shrimp tacos or my black bean burger. And then a couple hours later I would have ice cream, and then right before bed we might have some s'mores. And that was really all I had in a day. So it worked for me. The biggest thing I have to say is just to not stress it. Don't sweat it. Don't overthink it. Don't stress about it. That's the worst thing that you can do about eating. I try to tell my clients all the time, please don't ever feel guilty about any food decisions you ever make. You should never associate guilt with food. Even if you went on vacation and you had a full-out binge for 7 days, you still really shouldn't feel guilty about that because now you're attaching guilt to food, and I just don't think that's healthy. And so when it comes to getting back on track, I don't like that term. I use it with my clients because they know what I mean when I say that, but I don't like to think of it like that for myself. Like I said, when I went on vacation, I ate a lot of stuff that I normally eat at home. And I think part of the reason why I don't go off the rails when I'm on vacation is because my day-to-day diet at home is a diet that I like. Like I remember when I used to to force myself to have like 160 grams of protein a day, and I was always on low carb. I hated my diet. I hated my daily diet so much because it was a ton of food that I didn't like, that left me hungry. And so when I would go on vacation, I would just fly off the deep end, eating everything in sight, because I felt like, oh my gosh, when I get back, I'm gonna have to go back to a life of egg whites and vegetables. So I have to get everything out of my system now. But in the last year, I've totally traded in like my aesthetic goals. Not totally, but I've traded them in somewhat in order to have a diet that I actually enjoy. You know, I lowered my protein goals down to somewhere between like 100 and 120 grams a day, simply because it allows me to enjoy my meals more, and that since I'm not eating tons and tons of protein all day long. In general, I just don't feel restricted because I've created a diet that works for me, that makes me feel good. I live a life concerned about my health, not just when I'm on track and then off track is like all bets are off. No, like I care about my health and my digestion and how I feel all the time, on vacation or off vacation. So keep that in mind when you're on vacation. Like, I know most of you watching this are people who are concerned with your health in some way, so I know that you can relate to this. So if you care about your health enough to be watching a fitness video and going to the gym and working out, care enough about your health when you're on vacation that you're not just plowing through the alcohol and the calories and the junk and feeling like garbage simply because you feel like you need to, because you can't when you get back home. So basically, don't overthink it when it comes to vacation eating. Don't go overboard, respect your body, have some boundaries, such as you cannot eat ice cream for breakfast every day, Lynette. That was one of my boundaries. And yeah, so when it comes to like getting back on track, the only major changes that I really make is obviously lowering my calorie intake, because I don't need vacation calorie levels every day of my life. I will try to sweat out a little bit of water weight, and that was that belt that you saw me put around my waist in the beginning of this video. It's just a neoprene belt. It's not a waist trainer or anything, but it's just a neoprene belt that when you put it against your skin, it causes your skin to sweat a lot, not only in your stomach, but also kind of everywhere. And so when I do cardio with that, I'm just like dripping buckets of sweat, which is helping you release water weight that you may have gained from extra carbs or whatever over vacation, just that bloat feeling. So I'll do that for maybe a couple of days when I get back from vacation, just to kind of help me get some of that water weight and that sodium out of my body. And the only other thing that I really do is I drink a lot of lemon water. Lemon water for me helps my digestion. I know that it can help push out some extra water too, but the main reason I do it is for my digestion. I don't really care if I feel bloated for a few days. If my clothes fit kind of tight, whatever. I just don't want to have a stomach ache for a couple of days, you know? So that's what I do. I don't believe in doing anything extreme when you get back from vacation. That to me just falls in the mindset of having to punish yourself for having a good time on vacation. That's not cool. You're allowed to have a good time on vacation. You're allowed to overeat on vacation. Vacations are meant to be fun. I know that we all have these fitness and health goals. I'm saying this to you watching my video. I'm assuming that you do, but life is too short, man, to just like obsess over macros and calories and the perfect weight. Like, go on vacation and eat stuff. Be with your family and enjoy your time with them. You can diet at literally any other time of the year. Give yourself a break. Mentally, you could probably use it. There's no reason to feel guilty about taking time off. It doesn't mean you're not fitspo enough. It doesn't mean that you're not grinding hard enough or that you don't care enough. I feel like I'm all over the place with this video, but just basically find your balance. Have a good time. Don't stress it. Don't overthink it. Don't feel guilty about eating food you enjoy. There's nothing criminal about eating food that you enjoy. And when you come back home, just go back to your normal routine. Don't overdo it with cardio. Don't try and cut your calories dramatic for a few days. Just go back to your normal schedule and your body will go back to its normal self, okay? All right, that's probably gonna wrap up this video because it's very long now. I do have a grocery haul that is coming after this, so stick around for that. And yes, welcome to my grocery haul. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys really quick a grocery haul. It's pretty much like almost a completely like new fridge restocking, because somehow we just had nothing when we came back from vacation. We had just not bought a lot of groceries in the last week or so. So I will show you guys what I got today. All right, we have some jarred goods. Here we have an all natural marinara. Matt and I have switched from like red pasta sauce to marinara sauce because it has less sugar in it, believe it or not. I feel like most red pasta sauces are like 15 to 20 grams of carbs per serving just because of the sugar content. But this marinara is 11 grams of carbs and still 8 grams of sugar, but that's still not bad compared to what a lot of them are. And we have gotten one too that's only 8 grams of carbs and like only maybe 5 grams of sugar. So yes. By that same brand, we have our favorite salsa. It's fiery habanero and chipotle salsa. We have my queso. My obsession with queso still has not ended. Feta cheese, tomato, and basil. This is what I put on my avocado toast, and I love it. This is honey ham, that's for Matt. We got a couple of different cheeses because they were really, really cheap today. So we got extra sharp cheddar, some Swiss, and some pepper jack. We like cheese in this house, as you might be able to tell from this gigantic bag of shredded cheddar. We have a bunch of cream cheese, little bricks or whatever, because I make a lot of chili for Matt with this stuff. This is also for Matt, just ground beef. I don't usually eat a ton of ground beef or red meat in general, honestly. These I just got, here I'm gonna talk. So I have been cutting down on meat for the most part, but I still do like to have some meat in my diet to just help me reach my protein goals a little bit better. For this week, I used to get these a lot, just oven roasted chicken breast, diced up, pre-cooked. This is really nice to have on hand to throw into salads or pastas if you want. It works for my purposes right now, so I got that. Here we have butter. I've started moving into using real butter as opposed to margarine, even though margarine's super low calorie. Real butter is better. It tastes better, and I think it's better for you, even though it's higher fat. We got Matt's peanut butter, which is natural, crunchy peanut butter. I use this too in some oatmeal. And then roasted peanuts and honey, creamy peanut butter. This totally has like hydrogenated oils and terrible things in it, but it just tastes so dang good. So whatever. Got a lot of canned corn, canned beans, and canned tomatoes for the chilies that I make Matt very often. Here we have a ton of baby Bella mushrooms that I always get on clearance because they only have like 2 or 3 days left on the shelf, but I go through mushrooms so fast, so that's good. Got a bunch of lemons. I put lemon in my guacamole and I put it in my water sometimes, especially when I'm trying to like de-bloat and get my digestion back on point. Some avocados, some jalapenos, although our jalapeno plant on our porch is probably ready to give us some jalapenos. But we got some cucumber, we have a Vidalia onion, we have Matt's bread, which is just like this super cheap honey wheat bread. And then me and my bougie expensive bread. I love this like nice bakery style bread for my avocado toast. I just cannot get away from this. This is just not good enough for me anymore. 2 types of tortillas. Matt just gets the normal flour tortillas. These were like really good, but just so high carb and high calorie. I mean, these are kind of like a mini size tortilla, and it's 210 calories per tortilla, which is just a lot for me. So I get these ones by Olay. They're called Extreme Wellness, high fiber, low carb tortillas. They say they're technically 50 calories per wrap, but that's just not really true because they don't take into account the calories from fiber. And there's a lot that I can say about that, but these are technically closer to 90 calories per wrap, but that's still way better than 210 calories per wrap. And they're very, very good. I like them. I use those for, I make a lot of quesadillas with those. And then we have natural, cage-free, grain-fed brown eggs. I like brown just because I like brown. There's literally no reason other than that. Here we have fettuccine. This is for Matt. I make him pasta a lot. These are Matt's oats. Oh, you got the old-fashioned oats. Did you realize that? Mm-hmm. Why did you get old-fashioned instead of quick?
More texture.
Oh, you've been liking it when my mom's been making it for you? Mm-hmm. We do normally get quick oats, but when we went camping this past week, my mom's been making him old-fashioned oats, and he really likes it. My mom made us breakfast every morning. She's so cute. Here's my oatmeal 100-calorie pack of Better Oats, the maple and brown sugar brand, or flavor, what am I saying? My favorite, Benito's black bean chips. The ones that I buy online only have black beans, sunflower oil, and sea salt, but the ones I buy at Kroger have long grain rice in them as well, which like still isn't bad. This is so much better, in my opinion, than like a corn tortilla chip. Gluten-free, there's non-GMO. I think that they're organic too, I want to say. I don't know, but they are vegan. And last but not least, I'm sure you guys already saw this in the corner of my footage, I got Halo Top sea salt caramel. I got 2 in that flavor. I got 1 in mint chip, 1 in s'mores, and 1 in my all-time favorite, I think, red velvet. So those are some of my favorite flavors. That's gonna be it for this grocery haul. Bye.